a couple of people now. So is it time to phase out these dogs? Joining us now is breeding expert Dr. Dan O'Neill from the Royal Veterinary College and media manager of Peter, Jennifer White. And we also have Amy Vivian, as you've seen there, with pug Eva. Hello there.
Eva, just don't listen to these next few minutes, OK? Just keep your fingers in your ears.
It's not personal,
right,
Eva.
okay.
It's not personal.
All right,
but Dr. Dan O'Neill, Associate Professor at the Royal Veterinary College, there are some startling facts, I think, that will make people's jaws hit the ground this morning about how dogs like Eva actually are even in existence today. Tell us a bit about the fertility clinics and all of this sort of stuff that goes on.
Yeah, it's over the last maybe 10 years. So we've been doing a lot of work at the Royal Veterinary College within Vet Compass, pandemic puppies, a lot of research, and it's kind of exposing and making us aware of the issues around these dogs. The dogs themselves are lovely, dogs generally. These dogs are lovely, owners love them, so that's all given. But there are such severe health issues. So we've identified huge issues with heat stroke. So these bulldogs are 14 times more likely to get heat stroke than other dogs. Huge issues with giving birth.
Tell us about that.
Or
even getting pregnant, or
even getting pregnant.
Tell us about
so
that.
Up until maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, there was just a few fertility clinics for dogs in the UK, maybe 20, 30. Now there's over 300 because the huge popularity of dogs that struggle to mate and struggle to give birth means that there is a demand for these clinics.
But they can't mate naturally.
There are difficulties giving birth, difficulties mating naturally, physical mating, and then difficulties giving birth. So there is a huge demand for fertility services.
And the issues are Frankenstein.
But the issues are even more than that because a lot of these fertility clinics are working outside of normal regulations.
Are you calling them fertility clinics or breeding farms? I mean, is that the same thing?
No, these are different things. So fertility clinics are clinics that are there to help dogs get pregnant.
Let's bring in Amy. Amy, I mean, she's absolutely adorable. Who wouldn't like Eva? But has she had any health concerns over the years?
No, I'm very lucky that, we keep her trim, slim. No. Pugs are notoriously greedy. We make sure she doesn't eat it.
Do you accept that's not the case for lots of other pugs?
100% that isn't the case, which is why I wanted to come on today, because yeah, as you said, they have the most amazing personalities, and we've caused the problems as humans, right? Designer breeding over 100 years. So if we could get back to a healthier version of a pug, surely that's better than just completely making a whole breed extinct. I want to be the pug advocate because they are incredible dogs.
But so you're not in support of a ban at the moment?
No, 100% not. As humans, we have to start educating ourselves, our rights, our wrongs, and if we can't accept responsibility for what we did wrong by breeding them and making them flatter-faced and all of that kind of stuff, then we're never going to learn from that.
Jennifer, can we correct this? I mean, is it possible to start breeding
to roll
healthier
back the time,
pugs?
I mean, these dogs just live miserable lives because they are being deliberately bred to have these deformities, the flatter faces. For French bulldogs, breathing through their nose is like breathing through a straw all the time. Oh. So it's not about responsible breeding. I mean, frankly, that just doesn't exist in this situation when these animals are just so incredibly unwell, and they're being born to suffer. So any legislation...
She looks OK at the moment, though, Eva. She seems to be quite happy.
But even if you hear her when she's breathing, when she walks, that noise, that sort of rattling, snorting, people brush it off as cute, but that is them struggling, gasping for breath. They don't get to enjoy running in the park, chasing a ball. Their whole life is based around struggling.
I mean, dogs are supposed to run around and be energetic. Does she run around a lot?
Absolutely. She goes for 2 walks a day and runs around. She plays with toys in the evening. And every dog gets... I agree, there are some really, really badly bred bulldogs, pugs, and we have to stop that. It has to change. But as owners, we can take responsibility. So when it's really hot, I don't let her out. We put cool mats down, just as you would for any dog breed.
But I think the point that in the Netherlands, I think the idea is that actually just them being in existence is cruel to them.
Exactly.
As in the idea of them is just cruel. And what I find fascinating is that they're also going to put a ban on photographs of them on social media. I went onto Instagram and there's over 12 million posts about pugs. Pugs of Instagram is a huge thing. Why is it that they've become the sort of celebrity handbag, perfect Instagram dog? Why is that?
Well, a lot of it comes down to the Kennel Club and Crofts who obviously promote these certain breeds. And, you know, the best in show is often genetically the worst in show because they have been selectively bred to have such exaggerated features. But of course, then, yeah, celebrities start buying them, influencers start buying them, they're promoting them on social media.
And they're expensive.
And they're incredibly
aren't they?
expensive.
They're expensive dogs, are they?
So then, you know, breeders...
Ask how much you paid.
700 I paid.
Oh,
but she is 9 years old.
She's not, yes, but it'd be much more than that.
Yeah.
Easily.
But the whole story about the social media is much more nuanced than that. It's not just about Crofts and Kennel Club. It's about us as humans. We just love the look of these dogs. But what we're not doing is putting ourselves in the position of the dog and thinking about loving life, living as a flat-faced dog, living as a dog with no tail, a shortened spine, with all the skin folds, not being able to give birth. So the whole social media thing, there's a group in the UK called the Brachycephalic Working Group, or the Flat-Faced Dog Working Group. We have a strap line, stop and think before buying a flat-faced dog. So in a way, a lot of the stuff in the Netherlands we're already doing in the UK, but we're trying to work with people.
Can I ask, it's like Crofts and the dog shows. Do they promote pugs?
So Crofts has all the Kennel Club breeds there, so pugs will be there.
Well, surely they need to take responsibility, don't they? Why aren't they? I mean, if you've got the biggest dog show in the world promoting pugs, then you can't blame people on Instagram for posting pictures of them.
Well, I do think, just if I can jump in, we all have a personal responsibility to not buy from breeders, to not promote these dogs on social media, and that's something we can all do now.
But if Crofts are promoting it...
Oh, yeah, I mean, we should ban Crofts. We should bring in legislation...
Well, you think ban Crofts?
Yeah, ban Crofts, bring in legislation that would prevent people from being allowed to breed these animals. We should make sure that all pugs right now are spayed and neutered so that they can't breed anymore, and that would be great, but we can all make a choice now.
What's interesting is that pugs are the most abandoned dog. Because their bills are huge, aren't they? So I think often what happens is people think they're lovely, and then as soon as these health problems kick in, it's thousands of pounds worth of vet's bills, and that's why they keep being abandoned. That in itself is a problem.
It's a huge problem. I think it's a huge problem for all dogs right now. You know, during the COVID pandemic...
No, but particularly for pugs, though, not all dogs.
But all dogs have been... Lots of dogs have been abandoned, but especially for pugs. And she's 9 years old. I'd like to say that if I was going to buy a dog now, would I get a flat-faced breed? No, because I'm a lot more educated about it. Because I've taught myself and I understand. And in the 9 years since I got her, the breeding has got worse and worse, which is why I'm saying, you know, you're completely right. Legislation needs to be brought in. There needs to be more harsher punishments. We made cropping illegal in the UK, where they cut dogs' ears off and they mutilate them. And yet, you see them everywhere. It's all over Instagram.
Why do they cut the dog's ears off?
Because it looks better. For aesthetic reasons.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Exactly the same reasons why we've bred these dogs to have flatter and flatter faces. But they don't get punished for it.
Instead of ever buying dogs, what everyone should do is adopt. There are so many homeless dogs in shelters. And over 20,000 dogs a year are euthanised for lack of a good.
All right.
Very good point.
We have run out of time. Eva, we love you. We love you loads. Thank you so much for coming.